Well, a very warm welcome to another exciting episode of Trendz Travel. Today we'll be treating you to some good music. Coming up, classical sounds with a multi-string orchestra in Johannesburg. Next up, we'll sit down with the amazing songstress Zonke Digana. And the month of love just keeps on giving. Red roses, red dresses, all things fiery. You don't want to miss this one, so sit back and enjoy the show.
Whenever I'm with you, it feels like. How was your month of love? How did you celebrate your Valentine's month this year? We as Trendz are wrapping up our Valentine's month at the garden venue when Mafu is hosting a Valentine luncheon. It's all about love. Let's do it in style, celebrate our loved ones, spend some time with our loved ones, and let's keep the love flowing. Guys, namhlanje mina ngithi sisingihamba nawe, you know her, the one and only Nhlanhla. Namhlanje ngihamba nawe sis, akusiyo ubhuti engihamba naye, ngihamba nawe.
Thank you. Nami ngithi ngihamba nawe sis.
You look amazing. From being an artist to being an entrepreneur, now today we are attending this marvelous event. Obviously, people can see it's beautiful. Your baby mill or more events, bespoke events. When did it start? What is it all about? Can you tell us about it?
Maya Moore is a child that was born late last year, and but this is the official launch today. So this is the Valentine's edition, which is more like a love edition. So Maya Moore, I wanted to create a space where, people can come and just have a great time, and not only just have a great time, but get an opportunity to network as well. But also it's an opportunity, even if you don't have a date, who knows, you might meet someone here today, but also for couples to come out and have a great time. Because I realized that there's no intimate event, around Valentine's Day or around love.
And by the way, speaking of which, the theme, you chose red, which is obvious because it's Valentine's and love, that's known. But green, why green?
All of these two colors, they represent growth, they represent love, and they actually go so well together. So I said, you know what, let me give people options, green or red.
Green is money, green is wealth, green is new pastures, green is life.
Okay, so I'm sure this is the first of many events to come. What can we expect then? More events?
The next one is going to be the Winter Wonderland, first week of June, and then the spring one during spring, obviously, and then the last one will be in December.
Just for your, what do you call this, your fans, let's confirm something and make it clear. This is not your only focus. You're still going to sing. You're still part of Mafikizolo. This is just your other baby. You are just exploring and trying to be that girl in 2023.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, Mafikizolo has a brand new album out, so please go out and get the album. You know the songs on the album. There's Ngeke Balunge, there's Uthando Lwethu, there's a lot of beautiful songs on this album. So make sure you go get the album. The name of the album is Itwala by Mafikizolo.
What can you say about love as a concept?
I think obviously love is part of life, right? And it's a big part of life. I believe that a big part of who we are comes from how we choose to love. So as life has ups and downs, love has ups and downs. And so somehow it's about embracing the good and the bad as well. The yin and the yang, it won't just be a perfect way throughout. Yeah.
I'm a lover. I love love because I believe God is love and God made us in His image, which is love. I'm a love being. I believe in love.
Okay.
I always say I'm a love being.
Okay, so what can you say as we're wrapping up the Valentine's month? People want to be in relationships. Others already won. They're in them. Others just committed to their kids and all of that. What can you say? A message you can give us?
Guys, let's just love each other. Let's just be kind to one another. Love conquers everything. All the evil that we see in the world, we can conquer it with love. You must never die to have someone. Love yourself so much that when they come, they find you already being loved and talking love, and you just being loved. Because when you start looking for love outside, you will look for things that are not there. You will fall for the wrong things. You will end up staying because you just want to be with someone. Love yourself so much that you enjoy your own company. You love yourself that you're okay alone. When that love comes with someone else, it must be a bonus.
pottery is art, and ancient art for that matter. Now, some are saying it's a dying form of art, while some are trying to preserve it. Now, if you ever wondered how these ceramics are manufactured, it means you are one of those many people who are trying to preserve this art form. So let's go inside and see how these items are manufactured.
Welcome to Stormia Teacup.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here today. We'd love to show you the whole process
Okay.
of this very, very ancient tradition.
Okay, I love that.
We want to keep going.
All right. So where do we start?
Right, so first of all, the clay. You know, we need clay because this is the most important thing about pottery. It's actually good clay.
Okay.
We don't dig it out the river anymore. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Much as we'd like to, but it's too risky. So all our clay is sourced locally from special suppliers. Then from there, we bring it here, and that is when the whole process of ceramics takes place. We manufacture everything on potter's wheels. This is not a quick process. It's a slow process, and it takes time, and it touches human hands 27 times before the end guy gets it. This is not quick in molds. And yeah, the clay arrives, we've got to wedge it, which means all the air must be out. Any air is left in clay, it'll explode in the kiln. From the wedging process onto the wheel. So this is once again getting more air out. So you are compressing your clay. It takes a long time.
All right.
It's got to dry completely for 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least.
All right.
In summer, maybe less. But you cannot put something wet in the kiln. It will
Okay.
explode.
All right.
So that's the trick. So once the clay is bone dry, then you bisquat, it's your first firing. So we would put it in this kiln.
Okay.
That goes up to 1,000 degrees to get all the air out and make it durable. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
From there, the next process is quite quick.
All
We
right.
then glaze it.
We start by wiping the dust off from
Okay.
the pots.
Okay.
Because if you don't, the glaze won't stick.
And then if any more needs to be done to it, you know, like on glaze, any more painting, then we do that at the very end. But it's a long, slow process.
So it's nice and clean. It doesn't have any dust. I think it's ready to be glazed. Okay. Wet my fingers, hold the bottom, and dip in quickly and out.
That's it. Brilliant.
It looks like roots as well. Some roots, yeah. Okay.
So, Kia, would you like to have a try on the wheel?
Okay. Isn't it dangerous?
No, it's not. I just wanted to see how difficult it actually is. 'Cause
Okay.
It's so easy. He makes it look like grade one. Come and have a look.
Okay, let me try it.
So ceramics is the history of all cultures, of Romans, of Greeks, of everything. All the stories are in ceramics. So from Victoria Yards, we come to the store here at 44 Stanley, and these are all the finished products now. So the bowls that you saw and the bowls that you glazed, here they are finished. So ready for cooking, ready for eating, and in their complete process.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra hosted a Valentine's Gala concert at the Wits University Linda Auditorium. Guests had all their romantic favorites. Amongst the guests, we were honored to be joined by Grammy-winning flutist, producer and composer Wouter Killerman.
Congratulations on winning again.
Thank you. It's been an absolute blessing. We're over the moon.
Okay, what can you say about winning a Grammy? How is it like? What does it signify, or how does it contribute to your career?
Well, we've got incredible richness of culture in South Africa, and I never realized how lucky we are until I started traveling. And once I started traveling, I realized this is absolutely amazing, and I made it my mission to export South African music to the world.
The sultry songs of Old Blue Eyes. I'm sure most of you will know the words and be able to hum along to the tunes of The Way You Look Tonight, Night and Day.
Former Miss South Africa, Shudu, you saw she was emceeing the whole orchestra concert. Was that your first time?
No, I did it last year for the first time, and it was crazy because I don't know how to pronounce any of the names. I did it for the first time. It was my first time attending the orchestra last year. And over the past year, it's been my home. I've fallen in love with it because I've always loved classical music. But to see how it all comes together, to see the orchestration and everything and all the conductors and all the musicians who make this genre that we love so much do it and see the rehearsals, I'm deeply honored to be working with the JPO.
And an orchestra is actually a very flexible entity. You'll see tonight we're doing Beethoven, but we're doing Lagushoni Langa by Makei Davache. It's a wide range of music. We're doing music made famous by Frank Sinatra. It's a glorious evening.
The orchestra is such a beautiful expression of music, and definitely here to stay.
Speaking of music, plus we are within the Valentine's month. We're celebrating love. Orchestra and love, any relation there?
Definitely. We just heard Nat King Cole, Timothy Monroe singing Nat King Cole with that beautiful strings. When I fall in love, I'll fall, it'll be forever. And that's just with the strings backing it, it just adds that extra magic.
Well, between conductor and musicians, there is this love. We this mutual respect and understanding, and first of all, because we're musicians, we love to make music. Because otherwise, like I always say, otherwise we'd be in the kitchen playing the instrument on our own in the kitchen, but no, we come out here with a big group of people and we like to play for an audience because we love that energy, everybody looking at us and everybody applauding us and enjoying themselves. That gives us love and that gives us life.
I was there alone today and it felt so intense for me. I was reflective, listening to the music. It took me like somewhere without needing someone. But would you recommend attending an orchestra concert with a partner? I would say you must definitely, it's something that you should do with a partner.
I think comfortability with yourself is quite important, but I wouldn't necessarily say a partner, but I would say someone that you love. People come here with their families. I've come here with my mother and my sister. You can come with your partner if you will, but once you start watching the orchestra and the music, it becomes an individual experience that you can bring together and you can reflect upon individually. It doesn't have to be a synced experience for both of you. I've been with people who, when I communicate what I felt, they felt something different. So I think it's an individual experience for you. It's always great to experience it with other people, but it doesn't necessarily have to be with a partner. It can just be with someone that you love.
Okay, so you heard that, guys. It doesn't have to be with a partner, someone that you love. That is how we're wrapping up our Valentine's month.
Recently, craft distilleries have opened their doors to the public, curating masterclasses where beverage lovers can create their own signature alcohol. We visited this beautiful distillery in Mossel Bay where we made our own gins.
Over the last couple of years, we've seen gin gain massive popularity in the market, and that resulted to a lot of handcrafted gins being introduced to us. Go to Google, you will find a recipe. Today, I'll be making my own gin and learn the science behind it. Crossing fingers, I still remember the steps when I get home.
You all are making your very own 500ml bottle of handcraft gin today, under our supervision, but once again, it's all about you today. We are going to explain to you the flavors that's in front of you. So please, I know some of you are here to it's about you making your gin, but please, there is notes that you have to listen to, otherwise your gin is not going to be gin of the year. It's going to be gin for next year, right?
According to the experts, alchemy is 95% creativity and 5% science. Sounds good to me. First, you need to pick your own alcohol base, which comes in 3 different flavors: citrus, herbal, and floral. Thereafter, you are presented with a variety of notes, but you can only pick 5, which you think will blend perfectly with your alcohol base. A very tricky but interesting process. Add all the ingredients together and cook for about 45 minutes. The first 10 ml to come out of the pot has to be discarded due to potency. The rest is then diluted with water and voila, your gin is ready. Perhaps not for drinking, but ready to be bottled and stored for special occasions. really fun and informative experience, something you must add on to your 2023 bucket list.
Your favorite Zonke Tigana will be releasing an album soon titled Embo. We had an honor to attend the listening session here at Yamaha Club in Johannesburg. So Zonke is joining us on the show right now to tell us more about the album. So Zonke, welcome to Trendz.
Hi Asanda, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Like always, I must compliment you. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I try.
So Embo, what is that? I know that because I'm Zulu, I know it's a clan name for Mkhize. But in this case, I just want to understand why Embo. What is it all about?
Embo is Xhosa for origin, Imvelaphi, Insukaphi. So I chose Embo as Italy album because I feel ukuthi I always look backwards as an inspiration for my music. Can be the 70s, it can be the 60s, it can be the 80s. I always look back for inspiration for my music. That's why it's called Embo. The tracks you will hear ukuthi, even the bass, it's got a 70s and an 80s vibe. You know, there was a certain way that a bass sounded back in the 80s, so I've chosen vintage bass throughout the album. And as usual, the album is bass-driven. So those who maybe are too young to know what I'm talking about, but those who used to listen to 70s and 80s music will know exactly that I've chosen all the sounds that were used in those days for this album.
So how many tracks are we going to find and the inspiration behind this album?
There's 12 tracks on the album. The inspiration is just always life in general. You know, if you hear the album, you know, there's some truths, you know, about my life, always some truths about maybe a friend or just society in general, especially on a song like Muranziwa. You know, Muranziwa is talking about a male or female who's complaining about the treatment because they are being provided for. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so the inspiration is just social ills, really, as usual.
Some of the things that came up when we were listening to the tracks there, that side is about your consistency in terms of your voice and how you carry your music and the tone. Can you talk about that? Is that your winning formula as an artist? Because I know for a fact that you are people's favorite. People love Zonke. So how do you do it?
I think it's always important to just stay true to yourself. You know, people love to see that you don't change. You know, I came into the industry and I said all I want to do is make music. You know, it's not about what I'm wearing, where I'm going, who I'm with. It's just about music, and I've stayed true to that. You know, I stayed out of sight and pushed the music forward. So I think that can never get old. It can never be something that's boring. You know, I push my craft before anything.
Before I let you go, this week we celebrated the International Mother Language Day. So speaking of which, I just want to find out, when you do music in English as compared to your mother language, because you are Xhosa, how does it work? When you're speaking or singing in your language, how is it different as compared to when you're using or singing in English?
Well, English is not my mother tongue.
Yes,
I'm Xhosa,
definitely.
and I love South African languages. So since the beginning of time, I've always sung in English and in Xhosa, you know, and I always make sure when I write and sing in Xhosa, it's authentic Xhosa because I respect my language and other people's languages. So on this album, there's also a song written in Xitsonga, you know, Muranziwa. So I love South African languages. So English is just another way of communicating for me. You know, it's not what I prefer English to isiXhosa, to isiZulu, to isiTsonga. No, it's, you know, we are a country that has many languages, and English happens to be one of them. And as an artist, yes, music is universal, but it's great to be able to speak multiple languages, and English just happens to be one of them.
Okay.
But I prefer singing in Xhosa and other languages in South Africa.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to attending your tour, and we know that you'll be doing great.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and please get those tickets.
Unfortunately, all good things come to an end, and that's how we close it for today. Do get in touch with us. It's at Trendz on SABC. We'll see you next week.